Liquid reading that perfectly. All of the ultimates on OG were used. Let's go mid and let's take a fight. And by grabbing Lycan, it actually gave OG time to maybe feel too confident in trying to defend him. Because once he goes down, they can certainly kill him afterwards, and they know there's no exorcism. Maybe there could have been a lasso, but not a good situation there for OG to defend. And they lose 2 heroes, and they're going to lose a tier 2 as well.
Yep, no fortification to delay this. S4 holding a double damage room with not much to do apart from what appears to be farm. But Liquid will oblige to this. They're still moving backwards.
And back to push out lanes and reset. So now we're at a part of the game again where we're kind of
I love this head-to-head matchup too. This is the one we're talking about before we started. S4 versus Mind Control.
I mean, they're both playing really well right now. Mind Control's 3-0-6. Is virtually unkillable right now, at least until later when Lycan gets maybe an attack speed item or 2. It's going to be picking up an AC. That's a good way to deal with it, but Mind Control constantly pushing out the top lane, pressuring the top tower. But S4 on the other side has been making some really crucial plays and kills. He's also 1-0-7. 0 deaths on either of the offlaners right now.
Yep. I actually want to class Mind Control as the 1 now. He is the top net worth for Team Liquid. Miracle is still behind him. He'll play catch up now Battle Fury is done.
That's more like he had to build his catapult and now he's ready. The catapult is finished, but either way, yeah, Mind Control is doing great. His pure damage is going to be useful against heroes like Lycan, against Death Prophet later. If he can go through the evasion is maybe the hard part. And Resolution also picking up a BKB soon. That should make his ability to jump in and do exactly what he wants in the fight a little bit easier. He's still got to be a little bit worried about things like Fatal Bonds, Upheaval, Chain Stuns, whatever. Omni Slash is definitely going to be an issue for him, even with like Yules and Solar Crest, but if Resolution can get up in front in the fights, then they should be able to relieve some of the pressure that would come on the supports for somebody like Lycan.
Yep, that's why, yeah, Lycan with AC, they all get some extra armor. In fact, I actually start to wonder, how does Team Liquid do damage in the fights? If you're at a full and the Assault Cuirass is up, like how do you itemize to try and get around that?
They got this Enchantress here that does pure damage. They have a lot of magic damage between Sand King and even Dragonite and Fatal Bonds. All that stuff can definitely do a lot. Worst case, Juggernaut can eventually buy magic damage items. I mean, the Cleave is technically armor ignoring physical damage. So that could also work, but they've got some options. I mean, Weave is great, but it's not going to stop all the damage from the good side.
Good. Observe forward from Fly, scouts out Kuro, and there goes your team fight.
Oh, look at the timing. Creep wave is at the tower on both mid and bottom. This is basically No-Tail setting this up. He constantly push bottom with his Wolves and with his Helm of the Dominator creep, which guarantees that they don't necessarily know where the gank is going to be. And we see a rare mistake where Kuro is just completely blown away. And after getting that tower, they can maybe rotate and do something else. I guess it's a Warlock. He's not dead forever, so they'll just go back.
Mind Control can TP, but this G-Rex is being sent out to the front lines. He doesn't want to kick her. You gotta wait. Mind Control will get the movement speed, but G-Rex body blocks. He blinks forward. On the Magnetize. Now the kick will come because S4 is in range. And Mind Control, they're gonna put in all the damage. The Necro books are here too. He tries to turn. Oh, GH. It's coming late. Is it going to be enough damage from this? Fly still perfectly positioned in the backlines. So the chase begins from OG. We've seen this once before. We're going to see it again right now. G8 above strike down will not save him. Resolution will get the kill. Now it's Montubbin. Next primary target for OG. Support is there with Jirax. And there you go. Resolution double kill. And they actually blink further enough, far enough forward. The Kuro, the man that kind of started this avalanche, dies at the very end of it.
Man, as soon as GH goes in, I knew that was going to be bad for Liquid. They instantly lost their Enchantress. They thought that they maybe could turn things around, but once they committed and Dragonite's there and nobody dies, fight's going to be over because OG, again, the chasing team, man, they didn't even use Exorcism. They were so confident that they were to clean up that fight. Dragonite still doesn't have a BKB. That means Spirit Siphon, that guy's going to die, period. He's losing so much HP from Spirit Siphon damage.
Here comes OG. Necros are off cooldown for No-Tail. They can go once more. GH Sandstorm's well away from the tower.
No glyph.
No glyph available, an Exorcism up. This could actually be top racks. You don't even have Dragonfall for 47 seconds. Mind Control will try and fight here.
He's got a DD at least.
He's got the ulti. He needs everyone to group up. But at the moment, there's your lasso. The jump in. Jirax, the two-man silence. Miracle's going down. He needs to live through this. The roll from Kuro with the Fatal Bonds. That's heavy damage into OG. Fly's doing as much as he can, but he's out of mana. He can't repair it. So GH's Burrow Strike forward kills off No-Tail and strands Resolution inside the Radiant base. The Yule Scepter, is it going to delay the netball? No, he gets a lot of life back. GH sits his ground. He's got Burrow Strike available. Connects over towards Dazzle again. Where is his heal? He's got a Shallow Grave up. He goes to the Shadow Wave to begin with, but this Rock Golem Storm on his tail. He can't stay close, and he knows it. Resolution all by himself. You can get a 4-man silence. He needs the movement speed with the 1 charges, and his regeneration. The kick flies forward from G-Rex. It'll only catch on the wall, lock him the Yule Scepter. Trying to buy time by keeping Matoman up in the air, but Kuro finishes the job. And OG pushed so hard, all they got was a tier 3.
Amazing defense there by Liquid. I can't believe they didn't lose Rax. I thought it was all over once Exorcism comes out and they don't have Glyph, but they were able to turn things around. I think the crucial moment was that Juggernaut throws down his healing ward after he kills the Necro 3. That's the exact moment that OG goes in with the grip, and they were able to kill him, but it took a lot, and he was taking healing heal the whole time. And at that point, OG was a little bit overcommitted. The Fatal Bonds hit. There was so much AoE damage being dealt, especially like Batrider to his allies. I feel like the Fatal Bonds right there won the fight.
The Wolves are out. They're scanning out Roshan. G-Rex was quick to put an urn charge. It was his last one onto GH. So GH can't blink, initiate for the moment. G-Rex waits for it. Magnetize is in 7 seconds. They want to wait for this. Batrider's got the blink lasso. You still don't have the Death Prophet rolling Boulder in. They look for the timing. GH's Burrow strikes right things while DK controlled for the moment thanks to the lasso, but already ES is down. Fly, cast to self-grave. The only way to save it. No tail. Does he still want to fight this one? They've withstood a hell of a lot already, Team Liquid. Licking some wounds, but Roshan by 400. Dropping low. Here comes ES with the buyback. Aegis and Cheese has been gathered. And OG have nothing more to give. In fact, they've hung around so long now that Notel is getting caught out inside the river on the steps. A quick force-off from S4. Tries to create space, and G-Rex in again with the silence kick. SK needs to back off. Resolution's bringing the damage. Miracle will be killing off Notel in the tree lines back in the mid lane. But it's Resolution running forward, wanting the revenge onto Matoma with mind control, pumping out all the impairs so much. He's only really got 2 left up his sleeve. But that physical damage gets through Matoma finally. He'll cop G-Rex's luck as mind control begins the run, but the Spirits don't care about Untouchable. They'll touch over, and goodbye Enchantress. A triple kill for Resolution. You still pushed hard, and the Aegis Immortal was saved on Miracle.
What is this game right now? I thought OG was making a giant mistake, and all of a sudden they actually get all the kills. I know they were waiting for Death Prophet ulti there, but I thought Lycan had fed for sure. He does end up dying, of course, but man, Resolution was able to work down the whole enemy team. That was the BKB for Dragonite. That was his first one, 10-second gone. And there was a buyback on Earth Spirit, but if that's all you lose and he's already got a Blink Dagger, I think OG is actually super happy about this. Cheese was
and how good was his buyback too? Like, he came in and got such huge control factors once more.
And what's crazy is he had like he's had 1 stone, I feel like, for 10 minutes. He went in, I was like, I bet he's only got like 1 stone. He does a push, a punch, that was just enough. Smashes the boulder through, stuns like 3 heroes, and that buys him enough time to chase the rest.
It has been a terrific performance from both sides. We get to have a watch of it quickly again.
Great silence on 4 heroes to buy him a little time. This is where I thought No Tail was certainly dead.
This 4 staff that actually came in, I guess just S4 on the Radiant side. And then the space timing pushed him up the high ground, and G-Rex gets the kick.
I think No Tail had died closer in the river. The fact that Miracle had to chase him this far guarantees that OG wins this fight. Because at this point, Miracle didn't feel comfortable walking all the way over here to take the fight. But if he's there right there, hitting somebody while Matumba Man dies, he can probably kill 1 or 2 more heroes, and the fight doesn't go so OG favored. So props to No Tail for juking like that.
Well, Team Liquid take out the tier 2 tower up on top. The bottom tower was actually reached, the tier 3, but not enough damage to it. So both teams happy to reset up to Team Liquid smoke and head back into the jungle. Oh, hi, No Tail. Yeah, you better run. You better run. SK's going to fire a strike. Matumban blinks in, gets a Dragon Tail. They're going to commit the epicenter, and he just needs to outreach the epi. He can't.
A little too much damage. Still fairly easy to kill, especially from magic damage stuff. I mean, that's a double stun. I mean, they don't have an A, so at some point I feel like he's going to be at a position where he can escape from those moments, but it's not quite there yet. Queuing up an AC, some armor would help a little, but that was mostly pure and magic, I feel like. I mean, his armor's not great right now. He's only got 10, so...
Is that the time when you say, hey, maybe I should buy treads? Are you playing this for the long game?
Not really.
I keep brown boots, get BTs later.
I kind of wish he had treads just because it would have helped him against Enchantress in some of that early fight, but it's not an item that Lycans really feel like is needed. Like, you don't change your hero just by you right-clicking. It's more like he wants all these summons and auras. That way, all of his things get better, not just his hero. So, treads was not going to keep him alive there. Maybe a cloak would have, but he's never going to buy that.
Miracle may try and force an issue on him. He's still got the Aegis Immortal for a little bit longer. That's a minute and a half, and then it'll have to be reclaimed.
kind of interesting that they weren't able to use this, I guess. Maybe OG's just been slow pushing this moment. I suppose it has been, right? Lycan went mid, he used his ulti, he was the penalty there, since
and
OG wants to
Resolution
wait
was
for it to
pushing
wait out.
bottom. They TP down there to defend that.
Exactly, yeah.
And they're still getting more items, so BKBs are becoming a little bit more plentiful. You got one on Matubberman, you got one over on the Enchantress. You've then got the way to stop the heals, so Warlock now has that Spirit Vessel available as well.
That's good to go. Very good against Lycan as well.
And Miracle's completing his Lincoln Sphere. So the Courier is making his strip up right now, and this is going to make problems for S4. Just like Jirax has a couple of problems. Okay, they all like, what? No!
Oh, okay.
Yes,
That
Jirax
really
had to
crazy.
die there.
Just barely gets spotted on the Observer Ward, I think, the one place left. So ends up going down, but not the worst thing for OG. I think the hero to look at right now is Death Prophet. With all of those kills that he got in the last fight, Resolution has picked up a Shiva's Guard now. So he's actually extremely high armor. Very difficult to be killed.
Here comes S4. Looking towards the mid. Blink, lasso, they got him. And SK's going to have a jump in too, but I don't know if you really want this one. Mind Control, the 10-second BKB has been popped, but that's a lot of physical damage that Resolution has available. And Mind Control, he's just trying to outgun him. What is everything being aggroed into this engagement? But Mind Control will drop.
Yeah, I think OG thought that they would be able to catch a little bit more there with that fight, but it's good at least that they got the Enchantress. I thought they were going to stick to the Sand King since he did not have a BKB, but solidifying around the Enchantress is definitely beneficial. But I wonder, what if Enchantress runs left and then Liquid backs him up? I kind of feel like maybe that should have happened, but either way, OG gets a kill, but it's still for Exorcism, so I don't even think Liquid cares that much.
Yep.
Maybe that was the reason he ran right. Thought like, okay, not an ideal situation. They popped Exorcism. Run to the right, make them waste a little bit of time here, and this gives Liquid time then to let Enchant respawn, then they go and take a 5v5 fight on their terms.
I also love the fact, like, during all of that, so while Mind Control was running around, he actually enchanted one of the Necro books, and all the way north, it actually started pulling the dire creep wave so Miracle could add more pressure as a Juggernaut to the top lane.
That's a great idea. One other thing to do, and it burns their vision and stuff. You can prevent them from de-warding you with it, for example, by taking it over to your side. I think he might have even gotten a ward with it. I feel like there was more OG wards here briefly, not too long ago. So Death Prophet picks up level 20 now, health, Spirit Siphon, max, magic resistance. He is tanky.
They're going to smoke on the wall. Oh, yeah. Ping, ping, ping. There is a wolf there because GH is walking around with the Gem of True Sight. So these wolves can't just scout everything anymore.
Oh, they can. I mean, it's still good to trade them for this death for a little bit of gold. I mean, vision is so much right now. And in a lot of ways, Lycan really fits OG's playstyle. I mean, historically, they're all spawn illusions, push lanes in a safe way with either Alchemist or TB. Lycan's very simple. Spawn the wolves, use the Helm of the Dominator creep. Doesn't matter what it is. Push the lane. You don't necessarily have to be there. But that kind of a lane push will change the game.
S4 is going to go for an Aghanim Scepter, so he's got enough to trigger the Lincoln Sphere on the Juggernaut, because he's got the Force Staff as well as the Yule Scepter, so this should be enough. But like directly into Aghanims after this, is there any other item which...
BKB would be the other one that you normally think of, and he may end up switching there depending on how his next fight goes. But Axe is pretty cool because he can even do stuff like lasso the creep next to Jug without having to break the Lincolns. And hypothetically, grabbing 2 heroes would be amazing. Actually, for OG, get 2 heroes grouped up, pull them close to Death Prophet, get a guaranteed double Boulder Smash follow-up stun. It definitely has some big implications here for OG. And a better way to make Batrider even stronger in a team fight in a lot of ways. Rather than just being like, I'm going to make my one lasso better.
They're smoking and running. The haste room was too good for Batrider to pass up, and the Lycan Wolves are watching Warlock, so they know the Kuro is dead. They were hoping for more, but S4 scouting cannot find anything. Unless they can... Oh, okay, hello! No, we've got more! Mind Control pulled all the rolling boulder him in. They still have to get the damage out. That's why the Exorcism is being burnt, and Resolution staying so close. So the BKB goes down to now 7 seconds on the Enchantress. They won't find the kill.
Did you see that JRX play there? He blinked in and Boulder smashed S4. Gave him a second Force Staff, dude. That was super cool. A little pat on the butt. Launch him closer to his team. But as we've seen, they cannot kill Enchantress when she begins. It's actually impossible. They needed a carry with like strong right click for this to work.
Yeah, that's why we're talking about Ursa and Livestealer in the drafting phase. But I suppose there isn't...
I would actually argue that JRX made a mistake going for the Boulder Smash. He actually needed to pause and wait for the lasso to be about over and then do the Boulder Smash for stun instead of the distance. Distance was not important, but preventing BKB was huge.
So hold him, because like you've seen how liberal Resolution's being with his exorcisms. Like that's the way we get damage into Enchantress.
Well, it's not just that. That can kill her through BKB, but if she's running away from you, it takes longer.
Yeah.
They need Exorcism, and they need, you know, all of their spells. Like even Spirit Siphon, Batrider damage, all of that stuff would do way more for helping kill Enchantress pre-BKB. I don't know if they would have gotten her either way, but 2 seconds of her standing still with OG maximizing damage might have been a kill, and then maybe could have been them going high ground.
As far as being a real pain, it was like Flame breaking the top while Liquid looking for the kill, but no one obliges. Jirax is pulling an AUI 2000, sitting in the tree on bottom, just continuously pushing.
There's a double agent Spywolf scouting OG.
The Burrow Strike. S4. He's got a Yule Scepter available, forced off to begin with, but he needs a Yule straight away too. Those impetuses from Mind Control just shredded him.
And that was all Mind Control stealing a Wolf there. They did not realize that they were being spotted, but the double agent Wolf, man, notice both of the cores, allows them to initiate on Batrider, and all of a sudden the whole game has changed. He's got to buy back here.
I thought this game was hot, but we just turned it Cold War. OG on the defense. They're breaking the Lincoln Sphere of Juggernaut. Here goes your Fire Strike in deep from GH. Look for that target. They all try and bounce back out again, but S4 gets the lasso. The rock, it only clips S4, and there's your kick all the way through from GH. Oh boy, hard for him to stand. Mind Control, I know you're untouchable, but you're in real deep, man. You're real deep. Now your BKB will wear off as well. He's on 53 HP. The Necrobooks will have to finish the job with the Lycan, but now you've got a stranded Dragon Knight all the way in the mid lane. Miracle begins his TP out, but some of them will not be so lucky as they're astonished. There's something to stop Miracle. There was nothing, but some of them will still die. The tier 3 talent takes heavy damage, but the timing of this fight couldn't be worse for Team Liquid. Roshan is back up and alive, and this is the third Roshan. We've had so many, you're now giving Resolution the ability to have double Exorcism.
They were just so confident going high ground there with the Batrider kill and the Exorcism being on cooldown. It felt like Liquid's time to go, but with just the lasso, they were able to pick off the Sank right away. That was a huge part of their team fight. And there, they were able to chase down the rest despite not having Exorcism. So an Aegis pickup here for OG puts the game back in their hands.
It's Aegis pickup. They stole the Gem of True. They stole the Gem of True Sight.
The Refresher
No Talent's got the Aegis. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. It's 2 Exorcisms now.
Not good for Liquid. They still have a gold advantage, but I feel like a hero like Dragon Knight right now is just not feeling very strong. He's very vulnerable.
So we can watch this push up high ground. Miracle's your front liner, and then everything breaks him.
I think there was an aggressive Burrow Strike. There wasn't really any ability for them to follow up here. There was a silence on Dragon Knight in this moment. I don't know, he pops BKB here, but there's just no follow-up there. They didn't feel comfortable. The creep wave is gone. Bottom tier 2 is taking damage in the meantime. They dropped the Warlock Golem, but it didn't quite stop Batrider from pulling back his friend, and now it's OG going high ground.
Yep, we're coming back live with S4 looking to drag back at a friend, and there it is, Blink Lasso. He's looking for the back lines. They get the double kick back out. Resolution, he is stunned up, but the Exorcism is doing work. He's still got his BKB available, and with no Warlock, they don't have that big rock drop. Well, they didn't have it any. They still cooldown for 48 seconds. But this damage from Resolution is just too good. They give him the cheese. He still has the Refresher Shard sitting in his backpack. So Resolution, switch something in. He's switching his Phase Boots in. He's that confident he doesn't need the Refresher Shard. They take the melee racks, and OG, they just want to bail out. They got what they wanted. It's a full hit and run.
Game is now even in terms of gold, and a tactical advantage to OG as well. Now that they can kill the shrines, they can use wolves for this. Lycan's going to be very good at cleaning these up with his AC, and now Liquid's got to be pretty scared here. Dragon Knight ulti also used, and on OG's side, I guess they just pause, wait, slow this down a little bit, wait till their regular Exorcism, and then they can take another fight. But worst case, they've got Refresher Shard to back them up.
Octarine is now on that Death Prophet.
That is, man, he is so... This is like the most farmed Death Prophet we've had all tournament.
It's not even just that. Like, you're getting a Nullifier in the build order now for Jirax. So the money is rolling in. It may be optimistic. He's at 3K gold right now, so it's not that out of the ballpark.
I mean, he can basically blink, stun, prevent BKBs on a hero like Enchantress. It's certainly a good option. This is a lot of the way that OG's been using Earth Spirit late game. Has been he's their Sand King version, their Sand King swap out. He does different tricks than Sand King, not nearly as good at initiating late game, but if he can do Blink Boulder Smash really rapidly and follow up the Nullifier, it's getting pretty similar. And the armor's not bad this game against Juggernaut, so OG itemizing in pretty weird ways, but it could give them the big advantage they need.
And what a state of the game. We have bounced up and down on the graphs. First, we had the little cat from Liquid, but that was the advantage in the first bump up. Then we just drop down, then we go straight back up again with the cat with the big ear. And then it's back towards OG. But the experience graph it's just as big. Like, man, this is just a game of swings.
It really is. And it's got to be scary for Liquid. Their ability to initiate late game is kind of reliant on either Sand King or Dragon Knight here. So that means they're going to do like a Burrow Strike with a Warlock Golem follow, maybe a Dragon Knight stun or Sand King stun, but that's one guy and a little bit of AoE here. Whereas OG has
S4.
Exorcism and Lasso.
Watch S4 like a hawk. He's the one, the Owl Rider, not even a Bat Rider. He's an Owl Rider in this game, looking for the target. Miracle almost presenting himself with the lasso. Matama jumps in. S4, he's in the back line. He got Cora. There's only from him, but the fire from the GX was great. Jirex saved by the shot. Brave and Fly. The Yule Center up. S4's a lap as well. They did bring down Resolution. That's a huge streak to end. The Death Rock is out, but how much did you commit just to kill off Cora? S4 will also tick. NoTel starting his TP. They regret their decision. OG, they did not start with the initiation they wanted. They pushed so hard for it. And Liquid punished them. And
it, worst case scenario, basically, they went on the Death Prophet. Jirex tries to jump in to counter-initiate. He also gets caught up in the stuns. Worst possible situation to be in. And a small mistake there by Fly, in my opinion. He used Weave aggressively just outside the AoE of Death Prophet. I feel like if Death Prophet had Weave there, an extra 10 armor, everything changes.
So there's
maybe
Resolution.
She'd stay alive. Here comes the Weave there. It just barely misses Resolution. That would have been a couple more, an extra plate mail worth of armor. It's his tower damage and all these right clicks. Jirex gets disabled. There's a two-man Burrow Strike. He ends up meeting the grave on Jirex, thinking that Rezo could save himself, but he could not. Not survivable enough there. He's up in 30 seconds. Same as his Exorcism cooldown. So they just have to hold on until these two heroes get alive, or let the Rax fall and then play with their regular
Maybe right, just let it fall, but Matubum and Liquid so good to find the early attack. NoTel, the BKB is out, so Epicenter is down for GH. That was the 10-second BKB is NoTel being burned. Fortification is OG. Maybe without Epicenter, maybe without that initiation or big team fight, Liquid would be happy with what they got. And yeah, it's just going to be a Rax for Rax trade-off in the mid lane for both of these sides.
Yeah, they should definitely be happy. That's the game's now even again.
Do you say it was an intentional bait from NoTel? Come at me.
No. I mean, his whole plan is to stand on the high ground and let his Exorcism hit the tower. So in that way, no. That's his plan. He's like, I'm going to stand here. I know it's stupid. They can initiate on me, but my plan is my team will back me up. And they tried, but with Jirex getting caught in there as well, if that was just one person to grave, the grave would have gone on Death Prophet, and everything would be a little different. But with two heroes getting caught, maybe Jirex, or maybe Fly misclicked.
OG are coming.
Grave, but
I mean, Liquid are coming. Straight down mid, they'll use the Mantra Illusions of Miracle to push out the lane. You do have Jirex giving a nudge to the bottom, and OG are nearby. But Liquid under the cover of smoke. Who's going to be the closest one to it? The smoke breaks. Instant blink on the Fly. Lasso from S4. He gets hit by the Koro Rock. They are just locking down this Outrider. But with the Yule Scepter, Omniscience is almost completely waste. But Miracle, he has a double damage in fight. The Rock will finally drop again from the Death of Warlock. These stuns just chain out, and OG have no real answer. Even the Shallow Grave from Fly, it'll buy some time for Resolution, but not enough. Down he goes. 3 heroes without buyback for OG, and this is the ticket to push, the ticket to ride straight down the mid lane and potentially into the quarterfinals.
Could this just be the end of the game here? I mean, they've got to hold on for a really long time here. I mean, this is tier 4 towers still.
You got 2 supports only to do this.
Liquid's got really good pushing. They have AC on Dragon Knight as well. He's still got his ultimate for a bit.
Like
no, they're going to do the safe thing.
Jirex has 6,000 gold. Like, is this when you buy some kind of item that can help you?
I'm not sure, like Glimmer Cape maybe, or no, they're going for the tier 4. They're going to try it right now. They don't see the buybacks yet, so they know they can't come up. Is this it?
Fat Rider's up. He's got Lasso. They need to get a double Lasso kick into the fence. That's the only way right now they can save themselves. They go with the Fire Strikes. Jirex, oh, they got one. They're pulling him back. The Ancient is still exposed. They got him in range of the Fountains of Miracle. Extra damage, but the Ancient is going down. Jirex goes back in once more. They need to hold the line. 1.1k, 900, 600, almost 0. It is 0. We'll take the game in 44-33. It was not clean. It was Swinger. And OG, they have those 3 heroes going down without buyback. That's going to be bitter in their mouth.
Yeah, there was a couple times where they felt like they had too much momentum, that they could just beat their opponents, but a couple small mistakes, a couple good focus moments from Liquid, and they end up crawling back into the game and then winning the follow-up fight that OG had just taken away.
Juggernaut!